I'll roll it. Sure. Let's see where it gets us or gets me. Hey. Yeah, a little lazy. What I'm trying to find out is where is E4? Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
Tegan, really quick. I'm being told that there's only music playing and that nobody can hear any voices or anybody talking.
Oh no.
No.
Hello, this is my voice. How are you? I hope the answer is well.
All right, yeah, I just looked at the stream on the channel and I can see this now. But yeah, before I guess it was just music and title screen.
All right.
Or just music.
So we're gearing up to take the fight to the bomb. Yes. I have no idea how the barriers work, so let's just go with the booms. Premium, you say? All right. So I can get rockets. getting me some rockets. Okay. I gotta gear up the basilisk. Yeah. Oh man, I am flush. Okay, I'm gonna figure out how to spend that. Is it?
The Dominion will go next. Do I just put X in chat, or is that an asterisk for the multiplier? Okay. All right, I'll just roll 1d6 and then we'll do easy math. All right, so 1,500. That's not bad. Um, and for the adrenal, I can't do sorcerers. That's what barring sorcerers means. Okay. All right. Well, you know what? I want to grab some more explosives for the basilisk as well.
Hey.
Oh yeah. And I'll give both of those whatever bars would like for the basilisk. Two more explosives to that arsenal.
It's all incendiary.
It's all incendiary.
I'm gonna watch them burn. Yeah. All right. Baldur's Gate. Well, I'm gonna try to recreate that here. Let's edit.
Good.
I can go next. Let's see what the cartel offers here. So 1d8. Right. We're gonna go substances, specifically some alcohol. I'd never do spice, but turn down a good beverage. All right. Yeah, the savior of. Well, I read them. I wrote them down. Savior of course, yeah. So I would correct him and say, Val, hunter of hunters, destroyer of dreadnoughts, savior of the Puek. Probably doesn't know who the Puek is. That doesn't matter. It's pretty much the same as the spice, which is funny. It does have addictive qualities to it, but it allows you to roll extra dice, like a d4 for. I'm sorry, one more time. So let's see. Rava, traditional liquor. As an action, you can apply the substance to a creature within 5 feet. For the next minute, the creature experiences a high that allows them to roll an additional d4, making an ability check, attack roll, or saving throw using dex. When it's over, con check, where you experience a low, and then addiction. Yeah, then like the spice brew, force points, the Tihar, con, to Saraki, charisma. Yeah.
I think it starts with a K. Oh, I was way off.
Yeah, so I'll get myself a little flight of drinks to bring.
Yeah.
Good to know. Good to know.
Hey, Tegan, as a small aside, I realized that I picked superiority style for my level 7 fighter. I forget what it's called, but essentially one of their things, and it hasn't really been applying. It's a foundry thing. Can I just swap that out for something else? No, it's I get a superiority die, which I wasn't getting, and an extra superiority thing, which wasn't applying. So I'm just gonna pick up skilled strategist and would riding the basilisk count as animal handling? Oh, then I know what I'm doing. Yep. All right. I'll just make that little change real quick. Yeah.
What exactly do we have available as far as forces? I know that we have the CC we have the Mutts, and we have some various other people that have joined us. But I'm just wondering, in a very military sense, um, do we have fast attack craft? Do we have slow moving aircraft? Do we have ground forces? Do we have like what is at our disposal here to put forth towards Ethor? In Malachi's experience against the Vong, because he did previously, before joining Tafanda Station, lead forces against the Vong. Um, did I ever encounter like air defense? Okay, I'm gonna let the army guy over here handle the ground stuff. The real life prior army guy. If you're comfortable with that, dude. If you got any ideas. But on the air side, Malachi will propose um, that we um, get as many of our fast attack fighters. So looking at CC and any of the smaller craft that the Mutts have, and whatever else that we have at our disposal, and kind of go over the I wouldn't say layout because we don't have any real intel at the moment, but just kind of previous um, recorded videos or whatever that we have to so that they can easily identify what their anti-air looks like, and where they would be situated near or around the facility. So the fast attack fighters will go in and take out any sort of air defense as fast as possible, and any ground defense that they encounter on the way too, that they can take some pot shots at. And then I also propose that we load up as much firepower in the form of bombs or missiles or whatever we can into one bomber type aircraft. So a heavy payload and crush that base to the ground. So basically, we'll send in our fast attack fighters. They'll take out air defense, and whatever remains after that, we'll come back to the bomber and escort it in. Meanwhile, us on the ground, we'll move into the base and do what damage that we can, and it's gonna be down to the wire. But I think we go in, and as when the bomber is close by and out, whether we have personally taken out the shaper and somehow destroyed the facility ourselves or not, we immediately retreat and we let the bomber do work. And after that, full evac. That's my proposal. But I have no idea the coordination on the ground part and what we should do with our very capable droids from the CCRU and the fighting capable refugees that we have and those that you have trained um, as well, Val.
Yeah. I think so. I think if we were to think like this, realistically, like Ethor is probably heavily fortified. If it could have been taken by a fleet easily, it would have been taken by a fleet easily. I think the idea that we're going to go toe to toe with them is just going to get our fleet wiped out, especially without like bigger ships. The capital ships of the Yusuf Kong are going to wipe us out. So, but the opportunity here, though, might be if they're pushing hard on the Mandalorians, then we might be able to take a page out of the Mandalorian book and don't fight their main capital ships, try to target their supply lines or their quote civilian ships in the attempt to scatter them enough that Ethor might not be as defended for a ground landing.
Do we know that they have a capital ship there, or capital ships, or what? Any
I don't think we know
defense?
anything about Ethor.
It's one of the other character. It's one of their main planets they took. It was their biggest victory against the Republic, or the most impactful, and it has one of their highest members there. The great, I forget the exact term off the top of my head. It's gonna be well defended.
Master Shaper Nimyon.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Master Shaper Nimian is there.
All right.
It's the birthplace of their abominations. It's gonna be defended.
I mean, what if we give them cause to defend somewhere else?
I think the Master Shaper will see through that. They might send a small force to respond, but they're not going to send a significant force unless it warrants it.
Yeah, but I'm not saying. Okay. So I imagine that between the Dominion, the Hapes, maybe even the Hutts and the Mandalorians, they're trying to fight back. So we just coordinate, make them commit, because I'm sure that everybody from, it's not a part of the Republic or the damn Vaughn wants to see them hurt. I think it's time to loop other people in on the plan and see what they can do to pull resources away from the gem that is Ethor.
That could work. However, the only thing that I can think of that could backfire for us is that the more people we tell, the higher chance that it can get leaked of an impending attack, and then we face an even stronger defense than what we would have.
Additionally, out of character, there is another option. Master Shaper Nimian wants VODs. She wants the whole set. She wants the whole collection.
It's the play set. So what? Put a bow on my head and call it a day.
So I have a great idea. I see where you're coming up with, Horace, and I like it. Genius. Where's your friend Talus?
Thankfully, no idea.
Dallas is at a black site, unfortunately.
Oh, right. We went over that last session.
Yeah.
All right, I have no idea where I am.
So the only bait we have, again, out of the kick, the only bait we have is VODs.
What if we hit Ord Mantell in Republic space?
Instead of Ithor? Well, that's not following the yellow brick road. But why?
So the Republic just went into the war. This is out of character. Val is not going to think of this. But, right, like, so Ord Mantell, pretty significant, I assume, for the war effort. They're now openly attacking the Mandalorians, the Hapes. They're pushing probably through Ethor to attack the Dominion. That can't sit well with anybody in the Republic. We hit them in Ord Mantell. They withdraw. Then that exposes the Vong. Right, so I don't think, and the goal then is, how can we bring either the Dominion or the Mandalorian forces? I assume the Hapes isn't going to be our main fighting force, but how do we bring the Mandalorians or the Dominion into this fight? If we can pull back the Republic, then I think we can. Because I don't think our force can go toe to toe, but the Dominion can. It's just, can we get the Dominion into the fight? And if we distract the Republic, maybe we can. And then that'll give us cover to land while the Dominion attack.
So essentially commit our forces to take the fight to Ord Mantell. Go along with integrate ourselves into the Dominion, and they take on Ethor. And then we insert ourselves in through there.
Yeah. So we coordinate with the Dominion. When we attack Ord Mantell, have the Republic will pull back to defend it, assuming it's not as defended as Ethor. The Dominion then take the opportunity to take Ethor, which has got to sit well with the Dominions. If they take Ethor away from the Vong, that's the big old middle finger to the Republic.
Yep. And
All right, I like this plan. I'm just trying to figure out how we talk about it in character now.
We can listen. I very much love and enjoy roleplay. We've come up with a good plan. I believe we should simply say our characters discussed it and somehow came up with it in character.
Would you like to Val to role play how we attack Ethor? Because we get in a ship and fly there.
Precisely. We've
Correct.
got a plan. Let us continue.
Yeah.
And I guess at the same time, while the Dominion pushes in on Ethor, the Mandalorians could make a push to take back Navarro or even Terrace.
Mm-hmm.
Just
That'll push the Vong on two sides.
and just coordinate it to have it all take place all at the same time.
I will say, you
And,
guys, you know from your faction updates, the Mandalorians, Dominion in particular, your resources are stretched thin between getting attacked by the Republic and the U-Zone Vong. Directing forces could have losses within the territory.
I was about to say exactly something along the lines of that, and in addition to that, this request to the Greater Dominion is this above my pay grade, Tegan? Do I even have the capability to send this ask up the chain?
Yeah, you definitely have to reach out to Lord Galvin to see if he'd kind of run that up the flagpole.
Listen, the Mandalorians, I think we can convince rather easily. Not easily, but with less effort to commit to an attack like this. Dominion, I have a feeling we're about to talk to some people pretty high up in the chain of command.
I can see it being a case of
It's going to take a lot.
Fight.
I don't think it will be that easy.
Not
I
for the
think
Randos.
that especially with the recent news of how the Dominion is currently about to start the whole Sith backstabby thing, and leadership is seemingly worried. There's not going to be a lot of commitment on that side without a lot of assurances or some form of payment as well.
I think
There's going to have to be a significant give in order to receive this take.
I think Dominus is going to ask to fund the station to bend the knee. That's me out of character.
Or we try to smuggle onto the planet.
If we smuggle into the planet, we're not coming back out.
That's the danger.
No, that's the promise.
Yeah. So we could ask the Hutts to try to get us on, and then I don't know who's going to get us off.
It's basically a commitment like, this is the final push, we're taking out somebody. Suicide mission.
Yeah, I don't want to end it there. I feel like there's other ways to do this that we're maybe not realizing. Is there a way that we could reach out to the Dominion and see what eyes they have in the direction of Ethor and what they can see of the situation over there?
So the Dominion you would know doesn't have eyes on Ethor. It's been kind of harsh territory to get into. I'll give it to you. But you guys do have forces that can scout.
Yeah.
You have droid starfighters that could get a decent view of what's going on in Ethor.
But that also runs the risk of our plans getting through, that we're starting to put our eyes on Ethor itself. Then again, that might have been expected in the first place.
Yeah, that's very real. She's like, haha, come and get me, haha, I got your buddies, haha, I'm an Ethor.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, yeah, she's goading Vars into coming over. Like, hey, I got your friends. Don't they look nice? Look at all this crystal crap on them.
Yeah. Would the Hutts have any eyes? Not necessarily on Ethor. I think the answer is going to be no. But would they know what's going on in the Republic space right now?
For Republic space, probably the best bet would be the Hutts or the Jedi. Because the Jedi aren't really in Republic space. They've been flitting in and out of enemy territory in Republic space.
Okay, so we send unmanned aerial vehicles in to scout for us. Droid eyes. It's not going to cost any lives except for the apparent souls that they're created with. Hope nobody has any hard feelings about that. I'm just trying. I'm just purposefully rubbing salt in a potential wound. I don't give a fuck. But I think that we should, of course, we should definitely scout it. But the plan that I was coming up with earlier is we have this amassed force. Why are we not using it? And why are we depending on the Dominion? The whole point of Tafanda Station is to unite everyone. This doesn't feel like a united effort. This feels like a Tafanda Station plus the Dominion, with the help of maybe a couple of other people that might have assets in the area to give us some intelligence, maybe at a price even.
Yeah.
So
let's get our intel, and then we'll get a better read on what our chances are.
And actually, not to mention, since it's kind of a giveaway that we're gonna go for Ethor. I don't think there's harm in reaching out to our respective factions and seeing what assistance they can offer, because again, it's Ethor is we're the tide turn for the Republic. I'm sure the Dominion wants it. The Mandalorians maybe just, I don't think they're gonna want it, but it's way the hell over there. But they definitely want to hurt the Vong. Maybe lighten up some of the pressure on Navarro and Terrace and see what they can take back. So I think we should send scouts. I think we should go to our respective factions and see what else they can offer us in terms of manpower and assets for the push for Ethor.
okay, so scout first, and then ask for additional assistance after.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect. So you guys are definitely able to kind of find a squad of CC Roof fighters that, outside of the sunk cost of the people that were used to make them, definitely wouldn't cost any additional lives afterwards. With that, is there any preparations or any plots you guys have for the CC Roof fighters as they make their way into Ethor and try to scout as much as they can before they meet their demise?
Let's say spread them out. We don't want all of our eggs in one basket clustered together. They don't need to take the same routes. So we want them to enter the system at or around the same time, maybe some sort of interval arrival, and keep their distance and at the same time get as close as they can. So the detection concern is low because really all that we need is that initial sensory data that they can provide us. And I'm just spitballing here, Tegan. So I'm not sure the exact communication or capabilities of these droids if they arrive in system and beep boop bop, we've got data coming in and we can see things, or if it's gonna be what have you. But I guess my idea is get a droid in, get it as close as possible. It being detected is apparently of no concern because we're of the mind that they already know that we're coming. So we need all of the viable information that we can get, and we need each of these droids to survive as long as possible. So spreading them out is essential to increasing their life expectancy, so to speak. And then assuming they don't come back, and we also receive the data that they find.
And I'll give you a heads up with this one too. So the droids definitely don't need to make it back to get the data. They do need a little bit of time to be able to kind of scout and then transmit the data before they're exploded. So definitely kind of having them come in from different angles and intervals and kind of spreading themselves out will be a good strategy to help them kind of do that. But what else are you guys thinking to help give these droids every success they can have?
I apologize, Horse wouldn't be much of a help in this one because he doesn't like those droids to begin with, and I don't think the Force is going to help him much either.
we have any mechanical NPCs that we can reach out to that could potentially upgrade or augment them to be able to be more stealthy or even move faster? Or even just upgrade their optics so that they can enhance at least 17 additional more times? I'm thinking like the next galaxy over, they just snipe it from there.
Can we just build a big telescope and see what they're doing?
Anybody got a Hubble? Can I borrow
All
it?
right. Yeah, just real quick.
You see what's going on there like 15 years ago.
Wow, they look so happy and prosperous. Oh,
But I think somebody on the team, I can't remember if it was Vars or Val, has mechanics kit.
I actually do.
Oh, for the basilisk.
I actually had it for the ship from before,
Oh.
but it kind of just carried over. So, hey, it's useful again.
So you definitely do have time to kind of customize one of the ships. Do you want to make them a little bit stealthier? Do you want to make it so they can see, kind of scan a little bit better, or do you want to make them a little bit faster?
I want to strip one down from like weapons, make it faster and stealthier. So the rest of them kind of go in like, hey, here we are. Let's see what's going on Ethor. And the other one's like, trying to, don't mind me.
So I actually have demolitions kit.
Oh,
And I, channeling my inner dash, can we rig some of them to be kamikaze drones?
You definitely
As I
can.
think that would cause them to hesitate to interfere with the other drones.
yeah. Oh man, can you imagine?
Or maybe load them up with some of those Boba Fett's proximity mines.
Mhm. Yeah.
Oh,
So half the drones will just start seeking out enemies, and the other half of the drones will just chill and take pictures.
yeah.
All right. Sweet. So with that, give me a mechanics check, Vars, as you try to just kind of get one drone ship and kind of strip it down of weapons, make it a little bit more stealthier, to kind of see if they can kind of gather the intel. With Vars, are you doing anything else to the other ships along that side?
What ability modifier should I use for that?
That'll be intelligence.
Okay. Oh, all right. Hey. And
I'm
the
totally
other,
down for an inspo being used if we got it.
Oh, you guys have 3 inspo.
I mean, I only got a 5 bonus. Hey, you guys want to use an inspo for that?
5 bonus, you can do better than a 12, easy.
Yeah.
I mean, average would be 15.
All right. Let's try this again.
That's not a 15.
Oh, there you go. There you go. That's
We're in desperate straits, and that's damn, that's desperate.
It's been a
it's
long
only
time.
when we're desperate. It's when we're not trying.
Yeah, we got a buttload of credits though. That's nice, right, guys?
All right, buy some med packs because we're gonna need them.
What do you think that money's going towards? I'm broke again.
You are able to strip down a ship. It's a little faster, but definitely not like. I thought you stripped down the ship in the Mandalorian way. Like you tuned up the engine and like it's blaring kind of brightly behind it, but it's fortunately not the stealthiest beast. As you get that one kind of drone ship will be your primary eye in the sky for it. Val, give me a demolitionist check. And you said you kind of like put in like half of the droid starfighters. You're just like strapping bombs to them to have them blow up when things get in proximity, right?
Yeah, and the goal would be to not make it obvious which ones have bombs.
All right.
All right, and what is the check with that?
That'll be intelligence as well.
Oh, cool. Oh, there's a button for it. Look at that. Nice. All right, here we go.
Nice.
Okay, not terrible.
So Val, how does Val go about kind of like picking out the chips and kind of like getting the bombs ready for them? What's the Hunter of Hunters process for this?
So he goes through and he finds the ones that are like clearly in his mind the superior drones because they are cleaner. And so that is his logic pattern that he uses to choose which drones, the ones that sparkle the most. He might even throw a little like design, some paint to kind of cover over where the bombs would be. And so he straps up a couple of them with some of the explosives that he probably pillages from other places in the ship.
Nice. Yeah. Val does a good job of going through. His shiny method may have merit on that side, and kind of picking out the ships that can probably do the most damage and covering up the bombs to make them look innocuous as the group prepares. Sweet. So far, you guys have come up with a strategy of sending in the droids from multiple angles at kind of staggered intervals to help buy yourself more time for them to be able to survive enough for them to be able to scout the land and get a signal back to define the station. Vars is able to modify one of them slightly and get a little bit faster, but unfortunately not make it unnoticeable. And Val has been able to pretty much turn some of those droids into suicide droiders as they make their way into the Ethor system. Is there anything else you want to do before you send out these droids and get a little bit of information on what's going on Ethor? Perfect. All right, so there's going to be 3 checks needed with this one. And we'll see kind of who wants to make those checks. You guys have 2 points of inspiration. So with those, the 3 checks that'll be needed: stealth, as the ships enter the system; piloting, as the ships get into the system and try to kind of make their way through; as well as perception, as they try to kind of scan the environments and kind of see what they can find.
Can we divvy these out?
What's that?
Can we divvy these rolls out, or is it just one person?
Oh, no, you can divvy these rolls out between your efforts for preparing the ships and the ships themselves. You guys will have a +7 modifier and will need to, for complete success, beat a DC 18.
Okay, so +7 on top of whatever our roll already is.
No, a D20 +7.
Okay.
All right, so there's 3 rolls. Who wants to take one?
I'll do it.
All right. 20 +7. Here we go.
Nice.
That's enough.
Just enough. So you guys see these droids kind of rocket up from Tafanda Station, these CC roof fighters that were given to you all, and make the jump to hyperspace. Pretty much all is quiet at Tafanda Station for the days needed for them to make their way there. But as these ships emerge from hyperspace, they start kind of like staggered intervals kind of around Ethor, kind of approaching from different areas. The droids kicking into gear. The CCU make pretty solid droid starfighters. You see their engines blaring, evasive maneuvers taking place. You see some of the Vong that were kind of a bit surprised because these ones are not only just coming in hot, they're able to come in a bit quiet too. It takes a moment for the Vong to be able to catch them on their gravity sensors, and they're able to get a little bit closer to Ethor, and you start to begin transmitting information back on the planet. So we got the stealth check pass on that side. Who wants to give me the piloting check?
Before the next check, Tegan, is there any data that's coming in initially that could potentially impact how we? Well, I mean, it's just a flat D20 plus 7, but outside of the rolls, is there anything else that we can do with the data that's coming in that could impact the decision?
So unfortunately, the data transmitted is going to be kind of delayed to reach the station, so it'll be kind of after they're destroyed.
Okay.
Yeah, let me see. You can try to roll flat D20 to see kind of what the droids' own brains think as they come through 12 buffs. They may be able to take some additional strategies and add some advantages.
Hey, Vars, you want to redeem that nat 1?
Let's see. Flat D20, eh?
Flat D20. 12 exactly. Sweet. So you can apply one advantage to either your piloting check or the perception check. That's going to come up for the data that you guys will receive for these droids.
All right. I don't want to roll again. I'm scared. The clickety clack is not on my side today.
You hit your 12 at least.
I got skin in my teeth.
Well, I'm gonna vote the +1 on the perception check because I think what we see will be more important, but the piloting part is also getting us in close proximity. But all right, I mean, I'm down the roll again unless one of you guys wants to.
I'll roll the piloting. You said +7?
+7.
D20 +7. We're saving our big roll here. There we go.
Solid. So yeah, the CC root craft, you see Yuzon Vault forces coming out and engaging them, the coral skippers breaking off from their ships and just kind of swarming around these fighters. But yeah, you see some of the touches that Valve add to them start to throw off the Yuzon Vault fighters. As the coral skippers get close, you start to see some of the CC root craft explode, taking out those coral skippers. Too much energy and just heat for their black holes to suck in, and you do see kind of the CC-RU, the ones that aren't, kind of set up to be suicide bombers, just dogfighting with the Yuzon Vong and just buying that needed time to be able to begin scanning the planet and start to send information back. So, last check, you guys have had 2 successes, which will help with the DC. You also have an advantage, so you can roll with advantage. Who is making this check?
You want the honors burger, or?
Yeah, you haven't rolled yet. Here we go.
Yeah. This was the perception one, right?
Perception.
Aye, aye.
1d20 +7 at advantage.
1d20 +7, and then I'll roll it twice for advantage.
Nice.
We got it.
First one is good to go. So yeah, you guys start to, at the Fonda station, start to receive information regarding Ethor. And you see, like, these CC-RU fighters are fighting valiantly, but this planet is fairly well fortified. The things that stand out to you immediately are you see a world ship somewhat similar to the ones you guys assaulted during your kind of your mission for Mandalore, but where those ones kind of seemed patchy and seemed almost like they were dying and decaying. This one looks fairly well maintained, and one of the things that the CC-RU fighters pick up immediately is that it's hovering above planet, and you see like this tendril kind of from this space station in low orbit going down to the ground, almost like this tube connecting the ground to the world ship. You also see numerous dreadnoughts, coral skippers kind of skimming around and fighting the CC-RU craft, and kind of getting one of the ships, the ship that Vars stripped down and kind of added that extra engine boost into, is able to make its way into orbit. And you see the jungles of Ethor, this prior to the Yuzon Vong, this pristine wilderness that had been pretty much untouched by civilization, with the Ethorians taking their craft, their industry to space to keep their planet pristine. You see now it's still pristine, but it's wild. Like they are growing, they are using this as one of their core factories. You see rows of coral skippers being grown. You see rows of the Philips, their communication devices, just all manner of their organic craft being bioengineered on the planet. But the thing that the scanner picks up that probably will attract this group's attention is around that tube that's connecting this world ship from the planet to space. You do see a base built around it. It does have air defenses, but it's kind of see connected within it this massive Shaper base. For those that made their way to Mustafar, or those who have seen a Shaper's base before, you definitely get that same kind of feel and vibe to it, but this one seems a little bit more grandiose. It definitely seems like it's larger, spikier, almost more ornate in the colors and metals woven into the coral. And you can guess this is probably where Nimyin is set up. But between that, you see forces in the sky, the base on the ground, numerous growing fields, anti-air, and this kind of array of information as these craft are kind of reporting all that they can back before their life is snuffed out. What questions do you guys have?
What chance would our fleet have in an open fight?
Definitely give me your choice of insight, an intelligence save, or lore.
Is that open for anybody? Because I'm also wondering the same thing, Tegan.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, we got to do it for the jokes here. Here we go.
All right. So, Horse, Vars, you guys take a look at this. For Val, it's overwhelming. You see just so many ships. It's hard to pick out.
I would wager Val thinks you could take them on anyway.
Depending on how Val feels about it, like he's like, destroyer of dreadnoughts. I can destroy some more dreadnoughts.
One dreadnought. I destroyed 4 dreadnoughts.
Yeah, this ain't nothing.
But Vars, Horus, you guys look at this. This is a pretty impressive fleet. You're kind of looking at this, comparing this to Fonda Station. You guys have far more starfighters than they do. They do have dreadnoughts, and the world ship itself seems capable of defending itself. You all know with a 20, could you take Ethor? Could you remove the Vol from Ethor with your field forces? Potentially, it'd be very risky. Could end up being a Horus victory. But it's feasibly possible, even though 3PO would give you bad odds on it. Could you, though, with your nimble starfighters, rain havoc and get a force either into the world ship or onto the ground base? That'd be easier and less committal to your forces, depending on how you guys want to play it.
So you're telling me, if we used our entire military force and the Fauna Station itself, there's a chance.
Uh-oh.
A Horus victory, you say? I heard victory was a part of that.
Yeah. So looking at I guess, I don't know. I've been thinking about this for a while, but I've been trying to think of a right moment for an end character. So it's kind of like growing. The tendril is from the world ship and it's connecting to the planet, right?
That's right.
And it's essentially almost stone.
What do you mean by stone?
Is it it looks like, we all, it's all organic and stuff, but considering that Vars has been on a world ship before and blasted through it, that material is what? More akin to rock? Or is it a
Coral?
It's coral, kind of coral-like, but it is kind of akin to starfighter hulls for its toughness.
Okay. I'm just wondering if we've been going at this all wrong. We're used to fighting each other with our metal ships, but what if we tried using mining equipment and weaponizing that in some way?
That. Oh, sure.
So weird random lore from the who's the general? The bad guy in
Which one?
wow. Can't
Thrawn?
think of him right now. Yeah, Thrawn. So random lore from the Thrawn books. They don't fight with lasers because their ships don't have shields. They fight with things that eat metal. Just saying, there might be something to it.
Wondering. Because that's the kind of the. It's almost like it's a part of the planet. It's almost like it's just more planet. Maybe we've
So-
been attacking them all wrong.
Am I hearing another Paragus?
Paragus too. Paragus,
Hey, I don't follow. So we want to replace the arsenal of all of our starfighters and other craft with mining equipment,
Not
or we want to
necessarily.
add it on.
I mean, again, when you're mining, you're just trying to make a hole in the dirt, right? And you're doing that with what exactly? Like if you're trying to move, you use like explosives, but that's not the same kind of explosives that you would use to. I don't know. Wonder if there's something to it.
So perhaps a check that can be used to help identify this.
I don't know. If only there was a researcher that was completely dedicated to Vong Tech and biochem engineering that we could reach out to that might know if there's something that could penetrate the hole.
You're right! Why didn't we think of it? Dr. Vechnin!
That's right. The Athorian, right? It was an Athorian.
Or
Yeah,
Star
Dr. Vechner,
Huh? The one that we dragged along with us on the world ship.
You're not wrong.
And
I know
more-
you didn't tell us, but I couldn't resist.
no, and not to mention, I mean, he's a little more accessible than Mr. Blacksite.
And Vechnin has a great hatred of the Vong, if I remember proper, and like there is his own world.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think we should reach out to, if we can, reach out to him and see what insights he might have with his research and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. So if you guys do reach out to Dr. Vechnin, before we get to that, let's go over kind of resolve some of the mining questions you guys have had. Who would like to give me either a lore check or intelligence save? Any one of the crew can do so.
Please don't tell me that I have the best lore.
What's the modifier?
-1.
Oh, you have the best lore. Go for it.
Why is the fighter the skill monkey?
What a nerd.
I think it's because you are by far the most reliable character here.
Hey,
Yeah.
all right, I'll take it.
So Vars has been thinking about this for some time now. With it, so the mining pieces definitely would work. The Republic, the galaxy at large, I should say, has pretty advanced mining materials. They're able to either drill, burn, blast their way through. The biggest thing would kind of try to mining through the ships or the tunnels or things would be finding a way to protect the mining vehicles from the Dovan bases. Because if they throw those up and throw up a black hole, the mining equipment is down a black hole. But with that, Vars would know that there's ways to trick the Dovan bases with an Nat 20. You know that if there's throw a lot of things at them at once, they'll try to prioritize kind of what they feel is the most dangerous.
I think we need to inquire with the CC Rue and see how they mine resources with their droids.
Where these dreadnoughts are probably the primary craft that are going to be deploying those black holes and whatnot. And if so, are the dreadnoughts made out of the same material as the world ship?
I believe they're all made out of the same material. They're homegrown.
It's all cool.
All right. Well, I mean, I feel like I was asking. I already knew the answer, but it's like the dreadnoughts. The dreadnoughts are going to be priority uno with all the mining equipment. So if we can get something like this to work, because we still need to figure out how to protect them, or take off that equipment and put it onto our already available craft. We alpha one dreadnought at a time. So every single fighter in our arsenal that we attach mining equipment, that mining laser to, just goes pew pew pew, shows up, and then bye dreadnought, gone. Next.
So mining lasers aren't better than like regular blasters. It's more the drills, the kind of thermal charges, and things like that. So they're not quick. So it's one of those ones you'll have to commit resources to. And really not suited for starfighters.
Hard.
So definitely accessible and able to kind of break through the holes if they're able to make it to the holes and have time to get through.
But we outnumber them, right? Like, it's just a matter of our ships are just not going to be able to take down the dreadnoughts. But numbers wise,
you don't outnumber them per se, but you do have more faster starfighters. So it's one of those ones you guys could take this planet with the resources you have. You just probably wouldn't have resources after you're done.
F. Okay.
Yeah.
We
so
get these
dreadnoughts.
Get these mining
You can have
craft.
dreadnought fighters for sure. Yeah.
We put the refugees inside of them that know how to use it. Somebody's got to know how to mine. Like, it can't be that easy. You hit a button, do something. I don't know. But all of our fighters that outnumber them can protect them as they approach, and hopefully, like, what's the takedown time that we're projecting here, that, and how many that it could possibly take if we attack the critical components of the dreadnought?
Well, the biggest thing is if you can keep the fighters busy and keep the Dovin basils busy. But probably best about a minute or so.
Okay, so they need a minute, and we have a bunch of drones that can swarm and do what they need to, essentially, to distract, go in, and I'm spitballing ideas here, guys. I'm just thinking. I'm literally thinking out loud. Like, the drones are our best asset right now because they're not lives. They're not actual, like, living beings that we have. So we can commit every single one of those resources towards whatever target that we want to. And if they go down a black hole, then we go, whoops, next, and the rest of the drones carry forth, right? So our drones are obviously our distraction to everything.
I think I know who can help us, that probably possesses lots of mining equipment, does a lot of mining, and probably has a lot of random ships that they don't mind losing because they're not that good. The Huts.
They would be the most likely to have mining equipment. Mining equipment is there.
So with all of these resources today, with the mining equipment and our plans to just rip and tear with melee style ships, with the idea of using the Mandalorians and the Dominions to help add into a distraction force to help pull away some of the Vong and strike at both the Vong and the Republic. There's an additional resource we can also pull here. or at least attempt to, and it solves two birds with one stone for a specific character. Val giving some info about the CCRU to his contact, about how the CCRU, a lot of their droids are about to be not at their home planet.
Oh, Val will give them up, no problem.
So, are you going to sell the CCRU or potentially sell the CCRU out? But also reach out to, it's been a while since you guys have spoken to him, the Shaper Vralik Val.
I don't even know how we'd have that conversation.
Well, and Horse would best to be not part of that conversation.
No, and Val's just going to be very honest. That these people are up to bad things. They've got lots of droids, and this is where they're at. You guys don't have to tell Val the rest of the plan.
Yeah, he's already on board.
Okay, I just got a thing. See, I don't think that we should give up an asset like that until we know that victory is assured. So, in the event that this goes horribly south, it would still be a great asset to still have these droids available and not lose them outright like this.
But on the other end, this helps assure victory.
They might not even use the forces from Ethor, right? Like, there's nothing that says they're going to be like, oh, our ships at Ethor should go do this.
Yeah, they might just pick something that's closer. And the world map the galaxy map isn't up now, but there is a lot of Vong territory between. Between, is it Cilia?
Oh no, it's
Nope.
over here.
Oh yeah, way down there. Even more Vong territory. In fact, it'd be incredibly inconvenient to send this stuff from E4 down to Buek.
Listen, we'll just go clockwise or counterclockwise all the way on the outside. We'll exit out of the galaxy and we'll come back in at exit 10. Easy.
No, yeah, no problem. I mean, it's just
So here's another option. The Mandalorians have destroyed a world ship before.
Yeah.
Would they want to destroy another one?
You guys can reach out to the Dominion and Mandalorians. I will say the Mandalorians are staring down the face of their invasion of their homeworld. Dominus is losing control of his Sith. It's going to be hard for them to get resources to dedicate to Ethor. Not impossible, but very difficult.
All right, I have an idea of how I can word possible Dominion support. But I am going to lose a lot of clout if this goes bad.
And I'm just saying, if Mandalore dies in this world ship, long live Mandalore, Vars.
Oh man. I mean, hey, that'd be a hell of an arc.
Well, we all kind of have to survive to even see that. So this is a significant moment. And it's going to take a lot of convincing. We have good data. We know it's there currently. But the longer that we wait to gather resources and force, this can change within the day.
Yeah, I think our best bet is just the Hutts. Just see if the Hutts can give us some equipment and go.
I say we pull in everybody. Pull in all the stops, everything we have, everything we got. Everything!
I'm not against quick conversations with our faction leaders to say, hey, on this date at this time, to find the station with the assistance of others, could be you as well. We are going to be here. Here's the data of what the Vong forces look like as of right now at this time. And I mean, I'll save what I'm going to say for the Dominion side right now, but I mean, I don't think it will hurt to ask for help, but it's not going to waste time. It's a quick conversation of, hey, do you want to do this or not? This is your choice. This is what time we're striking, and we'll see you there. If not, see you on the other side.
Yeah, nothing gets the Sith in line like a good victory.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So-
What we'll do is we'll take a quick 5-minute break. Since you guys are all thinking of reaching out to your factions, some with varying degrees of difficulty, to bring them onto the side and bring resources, whether it be mining materials, warriors, ships. We'll kind of see how that goes. So we'll take a 5-minute break, come back 9:16, and kind of see what faction resources you all can potentially bring to bear to help with the attack on Ethor.
I have a feeling the Jedi are just gonna say outright no to Horus. Just have a feeling.
Just
We've had enough Horus victories.
I'm not leading this one, I promise.
I'm not in charge. I'm not. All right, I'll see you guys in 5 minutes.
All right.
welcome back everyone to part 2 of session 21 as the group prepares for their assault upon Ethor. So far, the group is they were able to scout out and find a little bit more information about the layout of the Yuzon Vong defenses of Ethor, finding that they've got a massive world ship connected to the planet by almost a tether with this long kind of fleshy membrane extending from the ship to the world, as well as a pretty strong defense fleet as well, with dreadnoughts and the Yuzon Vong coral skippers arrayed around the planet to defend. The group so far is beginning to make their strategy and is deciding to reach out to their factions and see kind of what more this desperate galaxy can spare and assistance. So what is next directly for you guys?
Well, Vars would propose that we appeal to each of our factions directly as a unified unit.
At the same time?
Yes. We have the conference room.
Goodness me. Okay.
Anybody opposed?
So are you guys reaching out to each faction individually as a group, or all the factions at once as a group?
I think what was proposed was the latter.
Yeah. I feel like this is a big push, and again, this might be the pragmatist in me, but I don't think any one of them wants to appear weak to any of the other ones.
Yep.
Just
I feel like this is both going to make things easier, but a harder sell.
Mm-hmm.
If one domino falls, it might be easier to grab them all.
We got a Nautilin of the light side and a Nautilin of the dark side showing up in this meeting too. This is where we find out that they're brothers.
If I had a nickel every time I had the Nautilin Master in one of Tegan's games, I'd have 2 nickels.
Yep.
Well, it's funny that you should say that because one of the never mind.
Huh?
No.
All right. So you guys reach out to your factions, invite them kind of all by holocam to the conference room?
Is that yes? Everybody's going to do that. Anybody opposed? I don't want to speak for anyone.
Oh, I agree.
Nope. Let's ride this train.
All right.
Perfect. You guys are able to make it to your conference room where you all have your own assigned seats behind the banner of your faction with the Mandalorians, the Hutts, the Jedi, the Sith, the Minions logos all kind of emblazoned above them. You are able to reach out to your factions and have 4 kind of the holocam droids kind of in the faction room arrayed around, and at the designated time you see them spring to life. Val, you see the enormous form of Big Boss Granick taking over the holocam screen. You see kind of the holographic smoke kind of going off of his just thick cigar that he's often seen with, just almost clouding the holocam at points. You see he gives you a kind of a warm nod, though he does. You can see the wrinkles in his very, very, very many folds do look strained as his eyes a little bleary and red bloodshot, as if he's not had much sleep. But he does give you kind of a little nod and kind of point a cigar at you, Val, Hunter of Hunters. The next one comes to life, and you see just a man or a Tolan in a simple robe, his hood up, weariness just kind of radiating off of him, though his face does look serene, and you see his head tails kind of pulled back. You see this wide-eyed Natolan appear. He does give kind of a small bow to the onlookers and kind of looks a little bit surprised when he notices not even just Horus, but notices Malachi, Vars, Val, all kind of assembled in front of the crowd. And he goes, seems the force has made today an interesting day. Good evening. It looks into the rest of the crew. Then you see another one lights up, and you see this Mandalorian appeared, helmeted. He's got this green and gold armor, battered. Varus looks very familiar to you. Your longtime ally, Commander Persk Velku, appears, and you see he's helmeted. He looks over, sees the whole crew in attendance, sees Boss Granick, sees the Jedi here, and he goes, Varus, you didn't call me to sing Kumbaya, did you? It just kind of just folds his arms in front of him. And then last to light up, you see like this intricate black cloak with you have like gold and silver piping along it, filling the screen. You see this Natolan head tails, some of them covered with rings of silver, gold, platinum. You see his eyes are deep yellow, just full of Sith rage. His face like a strained smile, like it's almost like it's flipping into either a sneer or it almost at times it looks like it's flipping into kind of a snarl of rage, but it seems that barely controlled smile comes through, and he looks across this group, and you see the smile for one moment falter and the snarl fully come in before he gets it back under control, and he goes, Lord Malachi, I did not know I'd be meeting with the other denizens of the galaxy. This had better be good.
Lord Galvin, I'm sorry for the short notice, and I'll bow my head. But this is of the utmost importance, and we need your insights. Please listen to what we have to say.
You see Galvin kind of gives a wave of his hand, where Velku just nods and goes, well, we hear you out. And it does kind of, you see Master Paolo kind of eye you intently, Horus, but he does kind of give a more sincere response, and he goes, we would be interested in hearing what the Fonda Station has to say. It's been dark times. If you have any light to hear, we would be more receptive to it.
Well, nod and kind of tilt his head over to Vars to take it away.
Vars is going to shut his helmet and put it down in front of him. I'm addressing you today, not as a Mandalorian, but as a member of this galaxy. I think it goes without saying that we're all losing this war in one way or another. The Vong have pushed into Mandalorian territory. The Jedi have lost many of their knights. The Dominion's grasp is loosening in many parts. And the Hutts, they managed to get into your spice trade, among other things. We're losing this war because we're fighting it separately. I know that 5 years ago I wouldn't be standing here amongst these four. We'd be fighting each other, and maybe one of us would come out on top, maybe we'd all be dead. But the galaxy has changed, and we need to change along with it. We've been fighting an unprecedented enemy, and we've made some movements with each of our respective factions sending in resources and personnel, but it's not enough. It's not a commitment. It's an experiment. I know that you don't have the authority to speak for. I know you can't speak for Mandalore, and you can't speak for Lord Galvan. I know you're in high esteem of the Sith, but you cannot speak for Dominus, and I know that the Hutts have their own structure that I'm not very familiar with, but I know that you don't speak for all of them, and the Jedi Masters would need to convene in this, but if we keep fighting our own individual battles separately in different pockets of the galaxy, we're all going to lose. The Vong have taken off one of the largest factions in this galaxy, the Republic, and have not only removed them, but made them their ally. As we speak, they're fighting every one of us. The Vong have essentially doubled their strength in a month. We need to stand together. Which is why I'm proposing we take Ethor.
Malachi will step forward. All of you should be receiving an encrypted file right about now. This is the most recent intelligence that we have gathered. It shows you the forces that are surrounding Ethor. We've got another world ship, vastly different than the ones that we've encountered when we fought with the Mandalore. And we've got 4 dreadnoughts. As of right now, Tafana Station outnumbers the forces that are here, and if we were to full commit as we are now, we could probably take them on, but at a heavy cost.
You see the press raises his hands. You could take them on. It's likely you wouldn't have a ship left in your name afterwards.
Precisely. And that is why we've gathered you here. Review what I have sent you. It doesn't take much, and listen to my words, and listen to Var's words. With your assistance, Tafana Station, and everybody united behind us, we can do this.
You see Master Paolo kind of bows his head and he goes, well spoken. I've never thought to hear words of cooperation from a Sith and a Mandalorian. I am moved.
Times have called for desperate measures. Once enemies have become allies. We must stand together.
That's a salient point. Oh, go ahead, Val.
Val does not understand war. Val does understand battle, but Val does understand honor. And Val knows that if we take Ethor and we show the true dishonor that the Republic has, that will change their minds.
You see Master Paolo nod and he goes, well said. But outside of the dishonor of the Republic, what's the strategic importance of Ethor? Unless you feel you are throwing your full forces behind taking the planet, we'll need to dedicate significant resources of our own to assist.
It is the home of Master Nimian, Master Shaper Nimian, and it is the birthplace of many of the Vong's abominations. It was their greatest victory against the Republic. It will be the Vong's greatest failure.
Not to mention, if you look at some of the imagery, some of the craft captured before it was destroyed, you'll see where once stood luscious forests and now is just their equivalent of an arms factory or a shipbuilding or shipyard. They don't function like we do. They grow their tech. A lush world like Ethor is more important to them than all the 3 of our own shipyards, 3 of our own manufacturing facilities. They don't have the same restrictions that we do. We knock this out. It's strategic in the sense that their resources are lessened. It's symbolic in that where the Republic failed, we succeeded.
You see Paolo nod, and not just the Republic failed. The Jedi, the Dominion, the Mandalorians,
Yes,
all
We-
fought.
you're absolutely right. The Republic's in its own mess. We can redeem that failure. And not to mention take out some of the Vong leadership while we're at it. Either capture, kill, humiliate, whatever.
You see Galvin nods and goes, it would be nice to add one of their heads to the pile.
Yeah.
We've bled some of our leaders, we've not bled any of theirs. Vars, I do wonder if this may not be personal for you. I saw the report, and I saw the one-time traitor, or the two-time traitor at this point, among them. Are you going for your friends, or are you going to bring pain and bring retribution?
I'm going for both. It started off as personal. I want Shaper Nem Yen dead. I'll fight you for that head if I have to. But I want her gone. It started off with revenge, but now I see that the way that they outfit their forces is by growing it. And a planet like Ethor, like I said, is the equivalent of a ore-rich mine, the most efficient manufacturing facilities, all rolled into one. Not to mention, it would cut off a small chunk of the forces between there and Mandalorian space. It would also lessen the burden on a small front of the Dominions front as well. This is risky, this is costly, but it's worth every ounce of effort.
You see Boss Granick speaks up, kind of taking a big puff of his cigar, and he goes, could be a big victory. Could be costly, as you said. You say we blow up a factory, symbolic victory, yada, yada, yada. But what are you asking from us? What do you need from us?
Well, that's... I have come to a bit of a realization. One that I'm kicking myself for not coming to earlier, but at least when it comes to space combat, we've been fighting this war wrong. We're shooting at them with lasers. What do we use lasers for? For destroying metal. But their ships are not metal, they're coral, they're like a rock. And they have a world ship up there. Very important resource to them. Many long lives. It can be blinked out if you drilled in the right way. I know that the Hutts have many resources dedicated to mining, spice, precious metals, other things that can be put to use there.
You see Galvin kind of strokes his chin and he goes, oh, good thought. I mean, turbo lasers work well at blasting the rock, but turbo lasers are expensive. Miners are a dime a dozen. Who cares about miners? I'm sure we could... These glorious huts, I should say, could spare a few mining pieces of equipment. We can just hurl them until one of them gets through. Lives lost, but really not anything of value lost.
He's on the back.
With that too, you also see kind of the Mandalorian press kind of looks around and he goes, Vars, you know I'd fight with you through hell and back. They're staring at Mandalore. I don't mean the man. They're a stone's throw away from our planet. I'm not sure we can dedicate resources to anything other than defense of our home. We lose Mandalore, and he looks at Uvars. He looks at Uvars, and then looks at Malachi, and then Galvin. You know what price we paid to get Mandalore back. You know we had to serve under the Sith. Then we had to take our own planet, both from the Sith and the Republic, and then the Sith. If we lose it, what's that all for?
I was on Terrace, and I was on Navarro. We fought. We gave it all we could, but the Vong kept coming. Ships greater than our number by, I don't know what, 3, 5, 10-fold. There were just more of them than there were of us. With where we've been, like I said, we've been fighting this all wrong. If we hit them, we put them on their heels. They might have to rethink where they go next.
You see Velku nods. And then kind of Galvin asks the question, probably kind of a resonating question. He looks and goes, well, if we aided you in taking Ethor, surely the Dominion would keep it.
I think the Dominion should keep it, as well as the Jedi, and the Mandalorians, and the Hutts.
And Lord Galvin, you as well, or you know as well as I do about the anxiousness within our Dominion at the moment. This would give them a focus, something to focus all of our strength towards and distract from the current circumstances. But yes, we will keep Ethor. I can assure you of that. Especially if we commit our forces towards it. I will do everything in my power to make sure that that is a guarantee, regardless of what anybody here has to say.
Well, of course the Dominion would have to hold it. I mean, if we dedicate our forces to anything, it should be in the name of Dominus and Dominion held. I think that's just fair here.
Of course, and this would also be a significant strategic achievement on your part. And of course, I would hope that you would attribute it as well to me and my fellows.
But of course, you do see Master Paolo speak up at this time, and he goes, our intelligence also indicates that, he points to Vars, your old companions have taken the former Supreme Chancellor Oveno to Ethor. Would rescuing him be a priority?
It's not where we're going, but if we can, we will. Again, I know you're all looking at this so wrong. You're thinking, what can I get for my faction? When you're forgetting that we're all in this together. When one of us falls, be it the Mandalorians, or the Dominion, or the Hutts, that's just one less enemy for the Vong. I don't understand. How can I make you see? They can't.
Oh, go ahead.
They can't take us all. That's why they took the Republic off the board. That's why they made their way in with a few of the right politicians in the right places, some scary shows of force, and the Republic is bending over backwards to acquiesce to their every need.
Perhaps, just a suggestion, Lord Galvin. The Dominion takes E4, but we use it as a coalition staging point. We have Tafanda Station, of course, its own coalition of sorts and a gathering of allies and resources. But we can use E4 as one of the main staging points for all of our forces, as not only freeing it from the Vong will allow it to rebuild and be a significant beacon to the galaxy of our victory. However, short term that might last, but at least it will provide us a staging point into the rest of the galaxy from there against the Vong.
I need you all to see this, and maybe this will help. So Vars is going to go ahead and pull up the galaxy and its current state, like essentially what we're seeing as players right now, and look at everything that the Vong has. Look at it. How did this look like 2 years ago? We were all much stronger then. But now they've been chipping away at us individually, taking some Dominion space, taking some Mandalorian space, taking some Hutt space. Little by little, there's going to be less and less of us and more of them. Saving Chancellor, or former Chancellor Uveno. I know he has his issues with the Jedi, but I've got a feeling he hates the Vong that much more. Dominion, I am sure that I can convince him that the Vong are the greater threat now. If you look at this map, the Vong are greater than any one of us, but together, we are more than them.
You see Master Paolo nods and he goes, I concur. I spoke earlier of the Supreme Chancellor not out of love for the man, not out of any sense that he will repay the Jedi Order at all for our efforts. But if we can free him, maybe we can unite the resistance behind him. Maybe we can utilize him as a ploy to overthrow Chancellor Avon and restore the Republic.
Val has,
Go ahead.
Val has failed to see the big picture until now, and Vars, you truly are honorable. Because now Val does see. Tafanda Station was sent to be a beacon, and yet Tafanda Station is not on the front line. Commit your forces, and Tafanda Station will be the spearhead that leads this effort. Tafanda Station will be the bastion that breaks the Vong. It will be the defender of the Dominion southern flank. It will be the guardian of the Mandalorian's west flank, as he kind of points to the map. Tafanda Station will be a bastion of guardianship that it was meant to be. Tafanda Station will hold a spot of honor that can unite the factions. Val sees this now.
You see Boss Granick kind of nods along with it. He goes, well said, Hunter Bunches. This would be risky business, though. You kind of see like the factions kind of look kind of amongst you. You kind of see them looking amongst the representatives, looking amongst the Tafanda Station crew, as well as like checking their own data pads, checking their own resources, kind of seeing what they can do. So solid with this. You guys have made a very strong argument on this side. So what that'll allow you guys to do is you will have advantage on the checks. There will be needed a check for each faction. So the faction and actually I'll leave this to you guys. either the faction representative can make the check, or you can switch and have your stronger player make a check for a different faction if you'd like to. But it is one check per PC.
I'd
Yeah.
like to go first then. Over to the Jedi.
The huts are probably the easiest, and so I'm probably okay trying to take the huts. There's no way I'm convincing anyone else. Just FYI.
And no insight roll necessarily. From what you guys are requesting from the huts, they are definitely the easiest of the four. If I
I
had
don't
to
know.
rank
Val,
Jedi-
Val, I think you should take a crack at the Dominion.
Seems to be 1-to-1 for about everyone here. Horse, I want to go for first of Horse to get the bad roll out of the way.
Are you going for the Jedi?
Horse to the Jedi.
Before you roll, the Jedi will say, if we do dedicate our forces here, we will need assurances that you will make the rescue of Supreme Chancellor Ovena a priority. We need a resource to bring not just the Republic off the backs of the Mandalorians' Dominion and fighting alongside the Vong. We need a resource that can, if not unite them, at least divide enough of their forces away from the Republic to cause havoc.
Malachi will step forward.
Oh, okay.
Master, please allow me to provide every guarantee that it will be our utmost priority when we enter that facility to save him.
You see, he kind of gives a wary nod and he goes, I'll take that at face value, Lord Malachi. I appreciate the sentiment. Vars, I know your friends may be there, but if a choice has to be made, Oveno is our future. But he looks back to Horace for kind of the final words there. Horace, do you have anything to add before you roll?
He'll say, "You have my word and my promise. If it is possible, it will be done, no matter the cost."
Horace, do you want to switch factions?
That would be interesting here, but I don't.
I mean,
Horse has brought up the
technically-
best charisma.
If you look at it from a certain point of view, Horus has gotten a lot of Jedi killed. So
That's any point of view. That's
Well, I'm just saying that what I said above board. What I said was very obviously a complete and total lie. Like I don't care. I'll probably be the one to kill him myself, actually. But
I just wanted to kill a chancellor for once in my life.
it's a one-time
I'll-
opportunity. When am I ever going to have a chancellor isolated, away from the eyes of everybody? Come on.
Yeah.
It's up to you, but I stepped in to say that just to give you that opportunity because there's no guarantee what I'll roll, but my deception is up there. So
Horse will stick with the Jedi here. So, but what would this be? Persuasion.
Persuasion with advantage. You guys have made a very good argument.
All right. Let's here with advantage.
Nice. You see Master Palu kind of like a little bit of the weariness fades, and he gives a deep bow and says, the Jedi will provide resources. They will assist you with the retaking of Ethor and provide any assistance they can in its defense. We will stand by the galaxy as it unites against the Vol. Though we will retain our own command of our forces. And he does give a pointed look at Horus. He does.
Horse would give no argument. He'd probably make a sigh of relief, just like mutter under his breath. Finally,
They finally understand.
they did it. They know. They learned. A Jedi learning.
You get the Jedi resources. They'll bring starfighters, larger craft as well as kind of this the Jedi instincts and the Force along with them. With this too, that's going to grant you guys another D10 to the check for the kind of taking and keeping of Ethor, bumping you guys up to 6d10.
Who's next? Who's following up the 2 nat 20?
I can. I'll try with the huts next.
You see, Boss Granite kind of looks at you and goes, "Hunter Hunters, you stand by this?"
Val stands by Vars. Val trusts in Vars. And what more honorable way to die than to send miners to destroy such large targets?
You kind of see he bobs his head back and forth, and he goes, "Yeah, sure, okay. We got mining equipment. Yeah, between us, we got lives we don't really care about. This could be it's an expensive endeavor for us all. We're putting the credits on the line. The credits. I mean, blood or credits. I would give blood before I gave my credits up. So we just need this is heartwarming, galaxy uniting things. But if we do this, kind of see him take a big puff and look at both the Lord Galvin, look at Presk from the Mandalorians, and even look at the Jedi. But he kind of gives the Jedi the smallest glance. We expect a good sum of credits, and also the rights to pillage. We're not pillage. That's a bad word. The rights to secure any resources we can from Ethor. We heard there's a lot of, let's say, medicinal things on that planet that could go for a hefty sum for the right buyers. And we claim that. Fair?
They want to sack Ethor?
Twice?
Yeah, they're sack. Yeah, pretty much sack. Yeah, they're looking to strip mine Ethor pretty much.
Goodness me! This will lose. This will lose the authority on the vote.
Val thinks that if there is medicinal purposes, as you say, for the planet, then that might be a good use for our fighters on the front line. Val sees no issue with this, and plus, you will have the honor of hosting Val, Hunter of Hunter, Destroyer of Dreadnoughts, Savior of the Quack, Defender of Ethor.
Gussie Granite Point goes, that's a new one. I like it. Give me a persuasion check with advantage, Val.
All right. Here we go.
Solid. Oh.
Goodness.
Yeah.
You may want to use one.
That's a fair inspo roll.
Please use an inspiration.
All right. We'll try the inspo.
Fair.
Come on, better. No.
Worse.
Yeah, that -1 got you.
So 13?
You see Boss Granite kind of takes a puff and he goes, that's a big ass Val. I mean, Hunter of Hunters, Destroy Dreadnoughts, Ethor, and all that. They'll strip mine it. But you need all these mining resources. If they all get blown up, we don't get Ethor. We can't mine spice. And I know you don't indulge, but you know what that means for some of those that do indulge. We lose control. Val, I can't dedicate our resources to you, but I can tell you where you can get some mining equipment of your own. And we'll assist if need. We'll help out after you're done, if that makes sense.
You're going to back out of it now? I think that we should all have a conversation with Val about his special rate.
You see Malachi's like head just turns slowly towards the hut.
You've been paying his special rate for how many years, cycles?
Vars, give me an intimidation check.
Yeesh, that's not my best.
This it would be really funny if Val knew about the special rate this entire time.
Speaking of intimidation, I feel like I should take the Mandalorians and you take the Sith, but
Oh, nice. You see, Boss Granick kind of flinches. You see, like he almost drops like the cigar, and he goes, "Oh, hey, whoa! Let's talk about this." Val, roll me 1d4.
All right.
Hey, Defiant. Defiant.
If I could spit one on that, I would, but I don't know what it's. I don't know if lower is better.
You can't if you got Defiant if you wish to use it.
I believe that's our answer.
All right, let's throw it out there.
There we go. Yeah, you literally just needed 2. Okay, D4. And initially, I thought you had like at least a +1 to your roll because if I saw the 14 come up, I'm like, "Oh, he's good." But yeah, then it got the -1.
Yeah.
I was good at one thing or a few things, but it ain't that.
Not that.
You see Granick kind of like catches the cigar and he goes, okay. We don't need to talk about rates. Val, he gets the specialist rate of everybody in the galaxy. And the Hutts will support Ethor because the Hunter of Hunters asked us to. And the Father Station won't talk about his rate. That's non-negotiable.
Agreed.
Val just looks very confused.
You get the best rate, Hunter of Hunters. I can't let the galaxy know about it. It revolts. Headhunting, all of that. Bars, Malachi, Horace, mum's the word. All right?
Ah, Val. Yes, Val gets a special rate. Vars, I shall tell you my rate. Maybe the Mandalorians will match it.
No. You don't need to tell him again or tell him more. It's your rate, Val. I'll send you another special rate just to keep this low. You do see like a wire transfer for 100 credits, like just pop up on you.
Val gives a little nod. Val appreciates such generosity.
I would. Vars would probably speak up, but honestly, I feel like Val's in this for the fun of it. He'd pay them 100 credits to go do this stuff, so it's not the worst thing in the world.
So you guys have added the Hutt forces as well. They will be supplying miners as well as mining vehicles to help with your siege of Ethor, bumping you up another D10. You guys are now at 6 D10. Or sorry, 7 D10.
Oh, wait a minute, that number sounds too familiar.
So with that, Mandalorians, Dominion are left. Which one of you guys? Who's tackling what? Who wants to go first?
I think my strengths are gonna be better towards the Mandalorians.
If you think so.
Okay, you've got you're friends with Galvin.
Yeah, right. Go for it.
And I kind of talked shit to him recently, so
So you're not his favorite apprentice right now. Got it.
Lord, I'm a lord. I'm just a lower lord.
You're just with a lowercase L.
You're not really a lord if you have to tell everybody you're a lord, are you? I guess since I am going to do the Mandalorians, that I would probably approach them, but Malachi will turn. It will approach the projection of Presk. Was it
Yep, press Velka.
right? I approach it. I get close, and I want him to be able to see my mask and how messed up it is, and the everything about me as I walk towards him, and I just stand there for a moment in silence and kind of look him up and down. The Mandalorians have always tested their resolve against the galaxy. A history of basically getting their ass kicked repeatedly, but always getting. I laugh because of you. Shut up. But always getting back up into the fight. Are the Mandalorians really going to back away from a threat now?
You see Velku kind of like looks up and he goes, "We're fighting. They're on our doorstep. They're spitting at us. We got to put our shield up. We got to be able to push them back."
This fight affects the entire galaxy. That fight affects Mandalore. You broke free of the Dominion only to lose everything that you have right now. Commit your forces. If they're as strong as the Mandalorians claim, you'll have my undying respect. And there's only one of you that's actually gained that, and he is among me right now. Do you really want to go down in the potential history that comes from this as the ones that stayed out of the fight? Do you want to be looked at as weak? Because that's exactly what you would be. Weak. And you know what the Dominion does to weak? Join this fight or you're next.
All right, give me an intimidation roll with advantage. This is a more difficult DC than the other two.
Listen, Malachi, I truly mean no insult by this, but and I know you won't get this, but Tegan will. That is very much an Ichabod style argument.
I have no idea what that means, but my 8 didn't come in handy here.
Oh, I think we've got one more inspo, don't we?
You got one left in the tank.
Are we sure?
Yeah, we've kind of established that if the huts were just 15, we need a lot.
There you go.
Yeah.
Nice. You see Velku kind of stand back for a moment before he tilts his head up and he goes, you see like he almost like he looks like he like mimes to spit, but he's got his helmet on and stops himself just in time. But he goes, Griffin says Spawn. All right. You want to show Mandalorians are the best goddamn fighters that grace this galaxy? We'll come there, we'll win Ethor while you little Sith pansies wave your little glow rods, and we'll show you what Mandalorians can do. You want to come for us next? Watch Ethor. That's coming for you. Goddamn Sith.
Malachi removes his mask and he approaches even closer, looking up into the projection. That is the resolve I was looking for. And he'll turn back towards Lord Galvin and the conversation between him and Bars.
You do see Lord Galvin kind of look at you and he goes, Roswell, I owe you my life. You and the other survivors of Vela freed me from my interminable prison. The Dominion has other priorities, and Ethor, it could be a rallying cry. But Vars, what I want from you Ethor would be nice. Be a good jewel. Guess him look at Velku and look back at you. I would want a favor that you could not refuse me. Whatever I asked of you, I would need it done. And know that I would not ask of you something that would dishonor yourself, but something that could bring the galaxy together, as you say.
Lord Galvin, we're old friends. When we first met, I didn't see a Sith Lord. I saw someone who was being terrorized by the enemy we now face. I'm probably at your lowest point. And though there were those among my group that saw an opportunity to remove a Sith Lord from the map, so to speak, I wasn't one of them. I don't know, something in me just saw something like this coming. A threat like this. It just grew into so much more than I could ever expect. If it's a favor, if that's what you need from me, something that, as you say, wouldn't dishonor me, and I don't think you would ask me for anything like that. It's yours.
You see he nods. Bars, give me a persuasion check with advantage.
Let's see it. That was not with advantage.
That was not with advantage, yeah.
Yep, throw one more.
You're gonna one more.
Is there anything left you guys can do?
No.
I'm scrolling. I forget.
Did you take the maneuver that lets you add to your persuasion? As
No.
stupid as a maneuver that is.
Is there
Yeah.
a maneuver that I can add to a skill check? Well, and I ask because I can change up my maneuvers.
Oh, you can? There is a maneuver that does that.
So
What do you need to do to change your maneuvers?
I would have to use an adaptive fighting style to take like the maneuver fighting style.
The superiority style. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, we were just talking about that earlier.
Val suddenly goes, "Hi-ya!" and everybody turns and goes, "What?"
Sweet. What does that take? An
You'd allow
action,
it.
bonus action, reaction? What type of
I'm
action?
pretty sure that's a no action
Is it no action?
because it's
So
or is it object interaction?
it's an object. So it would be it's my adaptive fight. I'll throw it on here. So it's change up. You can use your object interaction, expend the use of your adaptive fighting style to change the fighting style option granted by your class feature.
Okay. Roll me a straight D20, 11 plus. You're able to get this off and get that reaction in time to keep Galvin from making his decision.
The dice just is not with Val today.
Is there nothing we can do? Nothing that can be called upon? Not in the Force, or within the mundane, within the prior connections within the galaxy itself, to bring Galvin to a correct decision in this moment.
Well,
All that I've lost.
Malachi did walk away from the other Mandalorian and is standing behind bars a short distance while he listens to this. So, with unknowingly the fighting style being changed in the background, but I'll wait for Galvin's response.
Sweet. So is nothing else we can add to this?
I'm looking. It's not a saving throw. So
I mean, I got words to add.
Is
That's
there anything for truly Vars being the last legacy character from the first campaign to survive and still be here fighting the good fight?
Fortunately, that helped the DC, but it didn't really. Still a ways away, or just not a ways, but it's still a way. You do see Galvin kind of rear back,
I
and you
have
see him
one
think.
thing.
Oh, go ahead.
Maybe, I don't know. Val will pipe up and say, Val will put his honor behind Vars. Val will grant you one favor. You point to someone, Val will kill them.
You see, he does legitimately smile at that.
hell, yeah.
and my lord, you don't even have to ask me for a favor. Will assist in both favors.
Oh man.
Wow.
Well, little Jedi, will you aid? Because I don't know if the Hunter of Hunters perceived this was his hunting superiority. Because he very sarcastic with that hunter superiority piece, but he's still smiling. He goes, "I do need a man dead, and I do have a favor for Vars afterwards. Jedi, will you help him kill that man? Malachi's already pledged his assistance."
Malachi will look directly at you, and I'm still maskless now at this point too. I'm just
Horace-
peering. I'm peering straight into you.
Horace will just say aloud,
Give me the same dignity you gave Vars. But what you ask will not dishonor me. Then yes, you will have your favor.
You will not. The man you kill is no friend of yours.
we already know who that's gonna be. And so Horace he'll nod, not knowing who that's gonna be.
All right. Malachi, Horace, Vars, or Malachi, Horace, Val. Roll me 1d4
Each or just one of us?
each.
Oh, all right. Let's do this.
You guys are at 15 now. You need to get to 19. There we go.
One
For
more.
good measure.
Solid. You see Galvin kind of lean back and he goes, Dominus will be pleased. I will alert. And I feel we have a new bond of friendship and growing amongst us and camaraderie and all of that. But opportunity, most of all. We can make the Vong bleed and we can set the galaxy up for further success. You see him kind of gesture with his hand, and you see a kind of glass of wine kind of start flying out of the air into it. And he raises his glass and he goes, "To our alliance, the last alliance between the Dominion, the Fonda Station, the Jedi, the Hutts, and the Mandalorians. Long may Mandalore reign." And he drinks.
Oh boy.
Malachi will turn back there, and while he's saying that, and as he finishes, "Long may he reign," and I'll put my mask back on.
With that, you guys have secured the alliance of the Dominion, the Mandalorians, the Hutts, along with the Jedi. The Mandalorians will be sending some of their own fighters for ground forces to help with your sweep. The Dominion will be sending some of their capital class ships to help you take the planet. You guys will now have 9d10 to be able to roll against the Uzon Vol. When you make your play on Ethor, an attempt to assault the planet, potentially kill Master Shaper Nim Yin, taking Ethor back for the Republic, potentially freeing the survivors of Vela that have fallen under Nim Yin's sway, and potentially saving the Supreme Chancellor for the Jedi.
Not a chance.
I'm curious though. Who do we need to kill?
Galvin's not gonna let you know that right now, but
I got a feeling those words weren't very telling.
perfect. That is where we'll wrap up today's session. Next session will begin with the siege of Ethor, with your arrayed forces around you, and with Defy the Station crew kind of taking the fight to the Mandalorians, and potentially a great victory coming up. Sweet. So we'll get into that next session, which will be the 2nd of. Oh, is everybody going to play the 2nd of July?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Sweet. We'll get into that then and kind of see how that rolls for the Defy the Station crew. But everybody join us next session, and we'll see you all next time.